Today, I want to talk on perhaps the number one topic on people's lips when it comes to the question of the existence of God. That is the question as to why God allows suffering. One of the most persistent arguments against the existence of God is, if God is real, if he's perfectly good and omnipotent, how can evil exist? Why do people suffer? If God were all good and all powerful, he would desire and be able to prevent evil. But there is evil, there is suffering. Therefore, there is no all-powerful, all-good God. Now, all of us know what it is to experience suffering. As we think on our own life, we can reflect on all that we have suffered. The Bible tells us in Job 5 and verse 7 that man is born to trouble as surely as sparks fly upward. Matthew 5:45 says that good and bad happen to us all, regardless of age, status, rich or poor, good or bad. Unlike those believing in karma, as Christians we see that suffering is often unjust and unfair, or at least appears to be. That life is simply not fair. People who live well do not always do well. Psalm 90 verse 10 tells us that life is short and then we're gone. But whilst we're here, it will be but trouble and sorrow. And so those preachers who declare that if you come to Jesus, all your problems will be over, you will prosper, you just need to believe, they are misleading you. Life will not be easy, Christian or not. All of us will experience suffering. Suffering is everywhere, and at times completely overwhelming. And in general, we don't cope too well today in the secular Western world with suffering. You know, we're more shocked and undone by suffering than were our ancestors. In medieval Europe, around 1 in every 5 infants died before their first birthday. And only half of all children survived to the age of 10. The average family buried half of their children whilst they were still little. And the children died at home, not sheltered away from eyes and hearts. Life for our ancestors was filled with far more suffering than ours is. Despite this, people were more unafraid in the face of loss, violence, suffering and death than we are today. Inevitable though suffering is, let me just leave you with this. Whilst it may be the main reason why so many people resist and reject God, there are just as many people who find God through affliction and suffering. They find that adversity moves them towards God rather than away. And that those who are already believers are pulled into a deeper relationship of God's, deeper experience of God's reality, love and grace. As one man put it, who was going through a major crisis, this is what he says. He says, I always knew in principle that Jesus is all you need to get through. But you don't really know that Jesus is all you need until Jesus is all that you have. Have a great weekend. Thank you.